Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Staten Island Ferry Terminal at the very tip of Manhattan. Before I begin, let me know how the video and audio quality is. I noticed a few of you were saying that the intro was having some audio issues or lagging, and I hope it doesn't carry on into this live stream. Today is Monday, January 13th, 2025. We're having some audio issues. All right, no issues so far. Good. It's 5:45 p.m. Temperature is 39 Fahrenheit, 4 degrees Celsius. That one guy saying audio not working so good. So that's two people giving me audio issues right now. Cecilia's saying the audio is spotty. Well, let me just knock this out before we start, because I don't want to have to deal with spotty audio as we do this live stream. All right, we have no audio issues now. Okay, I'm gonna keep going then. Maybe it was just the location that was giving me issues. It was probably just the intro where I had audio issues, but it could have been something going on with the area I was starting with, and then I moved out of it. All right, thank you for letting me know, everyone. As long as it's not cutting in and out. I think today we can head inside Battery Park City and check out what's going on over there. I don't want to stay in the financial district too long. I'll tell you one thing, it's much colder here at the bottom of Manhattan with all the wind. It feels like it's below freezing with the wind chills here. And it's not just today either. Anytime when there's a bad storm where the wind really picks up, over here you can really feel it blowing. Longtime viewers may know this is where I recorded a walk through a tropical storm and I lost my glasses due to the wind blowing so hard. Kevin Wu, you remember that? Just before I did that walk too, I actually rode the Staten Island ferry to and from Staten Island, and I saw the tide starting to get stronger and stronger. And by the time I got back here, the storm really picked up. Yes, Robin, the weather's going to be much colder tomorrow. But that's how it is in New York in January. You'll have big swings in temperatures. For me, it feels like the weather doesn't really swing that often in the springtime and the autumn. Well, sorry to hear that Infinity Act. There was significant rainfall in Sweden. Hundreds of buses and cars stranded. Maybe on the way to Battery Park City, I can check out West Street and also all the congestion pricing cameras just off of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, or as it's called now, the Hugh Carey Tunnel. Since I checked out the northern boundary, I might as well check out the southern boundary as well. And this is where cars enter Manhattan from Brooklyn at its most southern tip, right at the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel.
Hey.
Hey. Yeah, I am. That building over there is actually one of the ventilation buildings for the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. Oh, Kevin, you avoided the toll yesterday by driving on the Queensboro Bridge upper level. Well, you can if you exit to the Upper East Side. But the issue with that is there's no way to go back into Queens without paying some kind of toll. There's the tallest building in the United States, the One World Trade Center. Charger 383 saying Trump is going to fix the toll. Well, there's rumors that he may be trying to quash the congestion pricing, but how he or his administration will do that remains to be seen.
So wild.
This area, by the way, is totally being reconstructed. I think they're doing a lot of work to build up this area for climate change, just like they've been doing to the east side of Manhattan. So as you see here, they have a sign there that says End Toll Zone. And I'm going to cross over right here because this is actually West Street or New York State Route 9A, which is exempt from the congestion pricing. Although, to be fair, having the toll zone end here doesn't really make too much sense because coming from here, you're tolled anyway. They don't really need those signs because there's no way to get onto the street without already having to pay the toll. Unless you're coming from the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. JP Jack asking, when does the toll reset? If you stay until 12 a.m., do you get charged again? I believe the toll resets daily, so at midnight, that's when it resets. But if you're ready in the congestion zone at 12 a.m. and you leave, then you should only pay the toll for the previous day. However, say you entered the congestion zone at 8 p.m. the day before, you stay until 3 a.m. and then you leave, and then you come back into the congestion zone. That counts as another day. But drivers don't get charged for every day they're in the congestion zone. Only if they leave the zone and come back, that's when they get charged again. Here's the entrance to the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel to Brooklyn. And then once you go over to the other side to Battery Park City, that's considered the congestion zone. So they should have toll readers on those side streets coming off from the Route 9A here. You see here it says begin toll zone because drivers can make a right here and then they're entering the street grid of Manhattan, which is the congestion zone. I was gonna go behind that car and then I noticed they put it in reverse. That would have been a bad move. Here's the toll for the Brooklyn Battery or Hugh Carey Tunnel. As you see, it's cheaper with a New York issued Easy Pass tag, $6.94. JP Jack, I believe there's no parking available along the West Side Highway or New York Route 9A. This Route 9A is known by many names, such as the West Side Highway or West Street. This is a scary intersection. Oh. They just said stop. Thank you. What a chaotic intersection here. Brooklyn Battery Tunnel and West Street. So at the next light, I'm going to cross the street and we'll see where the toll zone begins. Isn't this parking here? No, it is not. No standing 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. except Sunday. You could park on Sunday, I guess. So that's one way of going to Manhattan and not paying for parking if you come on Sunday, but it's very limited. So let's cross the street over here. Actually, I don't think I want to cross over here because this is a one-way street. So vehicles can't make a left turn here. So I doubt we'll see a congestion pricing camera over here because there's no way they can enter the street grid. But if they make a right turn here, that's when they'll get charged. It is kind of weird when I look over to the right, I don't really see any congestion pricing cameras unless they're hidden very well. Some of them are more obvious than others. Like if you go in here, go around the block and come back to this street, will they charge you $9? Yeah, JP Jack, that's what we're trying to figure out now. I'm still not at the first available left turn on Route 9A from the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. This is it right here, Liberty Street. And it goes through to Battery Park City. Now we got a walking signal too at the same time. So there's a sign there that says begin toll zone, speed limit 20. The speed limit throughout most of New York City is 25. Here it's 20. Let's keep an eye out for some congestion pricing cameras. You know what? I found some southbound Route 9A. They're installed under this overpass here. Really sneaky. And another set on the other side too. This is actually smart engineering here. These cameras monitor when the cars enter the end toll zone because they can make a right turn from Liberty Street onto here, which is excluded. But for cars making a left from the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, it says begin toll zone. Let's see if we could find any cameras here because technically when drivers make a left turn from here, they should be charged. Are there any cameras under here? I still don't see any. Wow, there's no cameras here. Battery Park City. Unless they install them to the left or the right. But you know how they can also do it? Because once you enter into this area, right, the only way you can get out of it is going back on the West Side Highway again, or 9A. And that's when they have the camera scanning you back in. So they can say, oh, you've been through the congestion zone. We know because you had to have been in here to turn around. Well, I don't know, are U-turns allowed on the West Side Highway? Let's see. To the right here, I don't really see any cameras going towards Brookfield Place there. What about to the left? Any congestion pricing cameras here? I don't see any here. Does that mean you can drive in here and potentially not get charged $9? I mean, technically, that camera scanning you out there, you could like come in here, drive around, go back, make a right, and you shouldn't get charged $9 again. I think, because there's nothing scanning you in here. If you get a toll for $9, you could just say, hey, I just made a U-turn on Route 9A. I wasn't outside of the congestion zone. I mean, in the congestion zone, rather. You know what? I think we may have found a possible loophole. I don't see cameras here. Technically, you can drive into Battery Park City and not pay $9 because there's no camera scanning you in. Maybe that'll be an experiment to try. Even I could try it. I could be like, will I get charged $9 for driving from the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel into Battery Park City and then driving back out because there's no cameras? Look, I still haven't seen any cameras. I'm gonna go back to West Street now and see if there's anything scanning you back in. All right, so imagine you made a left turn here, came down here, make another left turn and go back onto the West Side Highway, Route 9A. Well, it says here end toll zone. That's what the sign says, but is there a camera reader? Nope, nothing here. So, up, I think I found a loophole in New York City's congestion pricing. Drive up here, make a left turn up there, come down that block, come down here, and you won't get charged $9, even though it says begin toll zone, because I didn't see anything scanning license plates or easy passes. You know, I have a theory here. Maybe the city or the MTA didn't install cameras here going into Battery Park City because it's not worth it for them, because the volume of traffic of cars here isn't enough to justify installing cameras. So they just put in like a threat, oh, you'll be told if you go in here, but you won't be. They're just playing psychological tricks on you. Instead, all the infrastructure is on 60th Street. So the city isn't as covered as it seems, or thorough as it seems. I mean, if you think about it too, congestion pricing, what congestion is there here in Battery Park City? Should people even be charged for coming in here when there's barely any cars to begin with? Just that in and of itself makes you feel like, what's the whole purpose of congestion pricing? Let's go to the Hudson River. Across the Hudson River is New Jersey. Hopefully this waterfront is all reconstructed now. I think the last time I came here, Jersey City across the Hudson River. There's the Colgate clock right there. Colgate clock. And the Goldman Sachs Tower. It's actually been a while since I've been to Jersey City. Maybe I should take a trip there. By the way, you know what also went up? The fare for the PATH train, the Port Authority Trans-Hudson. It went from $2.75 to $3. Now it's officially more expensive than the New York City subway. Although it won't be too long before the MTA also raises the prices of the subway and the bus to $3. But it's the Port Authority's first hike in more than a decade, from $2.75 to $3. I actually don't know why this New York waterway vessel is just standing here in the water. My audio is breaking up. I hope it's not the microphone. I did notice my internet connection was dipping a little bit, so perhaps that's the reason. Oh, the New York waterway boat started moving again. This whole area is Brookfield Place. There's actually a really nice shopping mall in there. High end. That's the street that we were on before, Liberty Street.
Like Kowloon Bay and Hong Kong kind of.
Yes, it is a full moon today, but I haven't really seen the moon tonight. It might be too cloudy for it to show. I think this guy's a personal trainer.
I'm not teaching you this for no reason. But anyway, so it's coming back now.
Looks like the ice skating rink is still operational here at Brookfield Place. If you want to go ice skating, you still can here. You know what? I haven't tried running yet since I broke my foot. I just want to try for a few seconds to see what will happen. Let me put my backpack down. Just for a few seconds. I don't want to hurt myself. That's why I'm not going to do it for a long time, but you know what? I don't think I'm ready because I don't feel that much flexibility on my left foot yet. But I can run. My foot wasn't all there. Like, it's still a little bit stiff. I think it needs to stretch a little more, so. Thanks, Johnny De La Cruz for 100 DOP from the Dominican Republic. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not ready to run yet. My doctor even said I can't run yet. But I just wanted to try for a little bit. But I think if I do run, it's just gonna strain it. JP says he gotta rewind and see that. It looked painful. It was a little painful. Michelle says maybe by the spring you'll be ready to run. We'll see what the outcome is. It might take some more time for me to run and jump again. Here's Vesey Street. Let's head back to West Street and see if there's any congestion pricing cameras scanning people in here. I think she may be late to catch the ferry there. Atticus says this looks like Boston a little bit. It kind of does. Reminds me of the Seaport District a little bit. Okay, even here, I don't see any congestion pricing cameras. Because cars can still make a right turn or left turn from West End Avenue here, or West Street. I think it's called West Street here. And possibly not get charged. Battery Park City may be exempt from congestion pricing because the MTA didn't install the infrastructure here. JP Jack, I didn't see any cameras on Vesty and none over here. Oh, this is Vesty Street. I didn't see any. So Battery Park City might be a loophole where you don't pay any congestion pricing. Philly and NYC says, so what happens if you're coming from Queens over the 59th Street Bridge and you're going uptown? Do you get charged since you're technically below 60th Street when coming off the bridge? You won't get charged if you're taking the upper level and you exit to the Upper East Side onto 62nd Street. The way you can come down here and not get charged is to go to the Upper East Side and then take the FDR Drive, go all the way down around the island and onto West Street, and those are excluded roads from the congestion pricing. Or you can make your way over to the West Side from the Upper East Side and take West Street down here. That's another option too.
And your cat.
Richard, yes, motorcycles do pay the fees too. I want to go up to a big street now, like Chambers Street coming up. On the other side of Chambers Street, you may know, is Stuyvesant High School. You know what I've noticed also? I think this was on one of the FAQs on the MTA website, or I might have overheard it in a video or an article or something. And they said that vehicles who come into the congestion zone and don't stay for a reasonable amount of time won't get charged. And that's so ambiguous. What's a reasonable amount of time? And where do drivers get exempt from it? Is it 15 minutes? Is it half an hour? Is it 1 hour? Because tell that to many of the Queens residents who go back over the 59th Street Bridge and there's no way to avoid paying a toll. You just need to go into the congestion zone 2-3 blocks to go over the bridge. Is that a reasonable amount of time to not get charged? Okay, so this is where drivers can exit onto the street grid, make a right turn here from West Street to Murray. Is there a congestion zone camera here? I don't see any congestion zone camera here because technically drivers should get charged starting from right here. So it is possible that you can drive like a block or two in and not get charged. Of course, the MTA won't tell us the exact algorithm on how their cameras work. Maybe they're smart enough to detect your car coming off the highway. But at Chambers Street up there, we'll make a right turn and we'll start heading towards Broadway, and we'll see if we can find any cameras. Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. MTA bus layover. So you can park along here during certain times. Any cameras here on Warren Street? Says begin toll zone. I know maybe the smaller streets may not have the infrastructure in place, like Liberty Street or Vesey Street going into Battery Park City, but Chambers Street is a pretty big street here in Lower Manhattan. We'll walk towards Broadway. So I do notice cameras here. They're very sneaky. Very sneaky. They're located under the Chambers Street pedestrian bridge going towards Stuyvesant High School. That's Stuyvesant High School right there. And I see the cameras. They're installed right under the bridge. And on the other side of the street too. But this is a excluded road. What if you're driving up here and you make a right turn and go onto Begin Toll Zone? How will they know to charge you coming off the West Side Highway? Let's walk to Broadway and we'll see if we could find any cameras. JP said they had a gantry at Liberty. I didn't see a gantry there. So over here at Greenwich Street, I still have yet to see a congestion pricing camera scanning people in. Let's look to the right here on Greenwich Street and see if we could find any cameras. No, I don't see any. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the glowing TD Bank sign. I don't think it's working. I mean, it could be possible that Lower Manhattan from the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel is exempt from congestion pricing. They're just telling people that they'll be charged and maybe they won't be. because I don't see any cameras scanning people in. Only cameras along the West Side Highway. Thanks, Paul Kovac, with $4. Appreciate it, Paul. Thanks for the support. We've made it all the way to West Broadway, and I still don't see any signs of cameras. JP, that's a good question. They said they're monitoring points and collecting data, but it could be an algorithm-based toll. In that case, I would imagine that many people will get charged unfairly.
Quand tu vois les enfants là-bas, c'est those are vouchers, baby.
Rich said once you cross over into the zone, there's no need for cameras. They already got you turning from West Street. I mean, if you think about it, if they have a camera scanning you in at West Street from the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, say you turn onto one of these side streets here, like Chambers Street, you park for the day, and then you get a statement showing that you got charged $9. You could say, no, I wasn't on Chambers Street. I was parked on the West Side Highway. You could fight the toll that way and say, I stayed on the excluded zone. I just parked on the West Side Highway. And how do they know that people didn't make a U-turn on the West Side Highway? There's so many questions.
Claudia.
I mean, they could say, oh, it should only take you 10, 15 minutes to drive the entire West Side Highway up to 60th Street. Any longer than that, you'll be charged. What if you get on the West Side Highway, you park on it all day, and you get a toll because you exceeded the allotment of time that they expect you to drive the West Side Highway? You can argue that you just parked there and you shouldn't be charged the toll, and I think you probably even win that way. Thanks, Hank, with $2, a couple of buckaroos. Happy adventures, appreciate it, Hank. Thanks so much for the support. I think the Manhattan Municipal Building still has their Christmas lights on, red and green. Oh, this building in front of me with the lights is the Manhattan Municipal Building. It's a building for government employees. I've had to go inside this building a few times. It's very old. So I was just thinking of this theory here. The more I walk through Manhattan and observe the infrastructure for the congestion pricing, I do believe it's a timed toll. Maybe certain cameras where they scan you in, they allot you a certain amount of time to get through the zone and you won't get charged. And if it's that, what I think it is, then I think a lot of people are going to get unfairly charged. Maybe the one, I hate to say this, but maybe the one by 60th Street on 2nd Avenue or 5th Avenue, maybe those cameras are set to a lower threshold, like 5 minutes in the zone, so they'll capture all those drivers going over the 59th Street bridge. Whereas here on West Street, maybe they give you half an hour so you can scan out of the zone and then you won't get charged. I don't think the MTA has everything covered. I think, yeah, Tonja, you think it sounds like a disaster in building. I think a lot of people are going to get surprised and charged for congestion pricing when they shouldn't have. Like I said before, you can park on the West Side Highway and never leave the zone and you'll still get charged, because they expect you to leave it in like 30 minutes. Oh wow, they even have the Christmas wreath up here. I'm getting very close to the Brooklyn Bridge. Ryan, it's still very early to tell because these first 2 weeks of January are like the slowest times of the year.
Hi.
Hey. You know what I want to do? I want to visit the worst subway station in New York City, the Chambers Street station. I wonder if it's gotten any better since I first made that video. I think back in 2017, I made a video down there and I said it's the worst subway station in New York City because of how ugly it looks. I don't expect much to change. But it's actually a real embarrassment because it's located right underneath this gorgeous municipal building, government building. The subway station is basically the basement of this building. Subway entrance. This subway station's in terrible condition. There's tiles coming off, there's paint peeling and everything. I mean, this was, what, 4 or 5 years ago when I made videos here. I think I even did another one in 2019. We'll take a look, see if anything's gotten better. Brooklyn and Queens side. I think this was the worst side. Yeah, it's still bad here. It was worse before when they, oh yeah, it still looks horrible here. Granted, they did improve the lighting, but it's like, why is there random litter across the platform? Oh man. Let's take a look at the paint. Well, they're still peeling paint over here. They did fix some of the paint like on the ceiling above us, but on the abandoned platform side, it's still peeling. But over here, it's all been replaced. Still looks horrible though. This abandoned staircase was pretty bad. Part of it was like collapsing over there, but now they walled it off so you can't see it anymore. I mean, they did patch up some stuff, like over here. You can tell there was like a big hole here. So they did fix it up a little bit. It's not like it's been neglected, but you can tell like the abandoned part has been. Over here, they fixed it. But then if you go to like this side here, oh man. Disgusting. Tanja's digging the old vibes too, water damage. Yeah, you could tell a lot of this has been damaged. Anyway, folks, I think I'm gonna sign off here. I'm gonna take the train that comes. I'll transfer at Canal Street. But if you enjoyed today's live stream of Lower Manhattan, then hit the like button for me, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. Take care. Signing off from the ugliest subway station in New York City, Chambers Street. Bye.